Good afternoon and welcome back to the SEMA Collision Repair and Refinish stage for the iCar and Collision Hub present
Woo!
Cool Tools.
Jason, I'm inundated all day long with claims on the website, questions, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, shops looking for tools.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this for me. We're gonna get this out here. Let's start with the first one, rivets. By the way, that thing weighs about 60 pounds, just saying.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice one here. What do we have here?
PR5 from ProSpot. Rivets are huge. We're gonna see more things coming out with the rivets. New to me.
Well, and the thing about it too with SPRs and other types of rivet technology, we're not going to be dealing with just aluminum. We're not going to be working on steel cars, we're not going to be working on aluminum cars, we're going to be working on vehicles that have a mixed material, and those are going to be rivets as well, rivets and glue, self-piercing rivets, blind rivets, different types of rivets. So this is going to become an essential tool in the next several years because of all the rivet bonding technology that we're going to see on the vehicles. So if you haven't got into an SPR gun yet, it's certainly something to be looking forward to because obviously the F-150 is a pretty big selling vehicle. That's a required tool for that, and it's become a required tool for many more vehicles as well.
Now, a lot of us, that maybe aren't into the Europeans, we started hearing about rivets as only a bonding technique for aluminum, or now carbon fiber, like on the BMW we had in here last year. But you're right, we are seeing rivet bonding as part of steel.
Yep.
Kind of, we never thought about that. Why? Why are the OEMs looking at more rivets, even with a substrate that we always thought we could weld?
The rivet bonding technology is popular. You get the additional NVH material, the noise, vibration, harshness as well. It just makes a lot of sense. So let's, what should we talk about next?
It is fun and easy.
Here,
What'd you bring up here next?
This is another cool little tool that we've happened to come across from our friends at STEC, SPR extraction and insertion tools. And they work very similar to this gun. However, they're not approved for structural repairs at this time. However, Ford has signed off on them as repair capable for door skins. So we've got a door skin right here. So we've got the removal tool that simply clamps onto the factory installed SPR. You put your impact gun on there, tighten that up, it drives out the rivet falls out the back, and your rivet's gone. And then this one is the SPR insertion tool. So again, take the rivet, the recommended rivet. It's got a little magnet in here. So the magnet will attach to the rivet. Same thing, go back on your panel, on your new panel, your replacement door skin. Get your impact gun out again, tighten that up, install a new rivet. So kind of a neat little trick. Cool, again, it's not approved currently for structure repairs on the F-150 and others, but Ford signed off on it for door skin replacement,
right.
So another cool little tool there.
And it is amazing where all rivets are popping up. So
yeah.
What else you got for me in cool tools?
Well,
you got some cool things here.
I like this one too. This is pretty cool. This is a tool from BMW for their carbon fiber repairs. Vehicles such as this i8 have carbon fiber repairs. They're all attached with adhesives. The exterior panels attached to it with adhesives. So there's no spot welds to drill, there's no SPRs to remove. So what they do is they've got this little grinding disc in here. It's got a nice little vacuum as well. It collects some of the dust. And they go along the seam, like let's say on that door opening there, and just grind off that adhesive bond, break through the carbon fiber and remove the exterior panel. Prepare the new one and install it. And one thing that BMW's done with the carbon fiber repair that's pretty neat as well. So it's not really a cool tool, but it's a cool concept. They've even got sectioning procedures for that vehicle. We can actually go and section out different parts of it. They've got what they call super magnets. Pretty cool tool. Super magnets that actually hold the carbon fiber in place while the adhesive cures. This afternoon we've got a BMW presentation talking about the i5, i8, and their carbon fiber repair technology.
So is that going to be able to help shops kind of free up benches where we used to have to set it and hold it in a bench for 24 hours? These magnets going to help me kind of free the shop a little bit, or am I still going to keep that?
No, you still have to keep it there. I believe they've got some recommendations for wait time in that as well. So, hey, how about this one? This is one that I know you like.
I do like that one. That made my life a little bit easier because plastic repair is a great source of revenue for shops, and we sometimes don't do a lot of it. We like to go to the replace, but these things have given us a lot of options. It's estimated that plastic is a good profit center for shops, and we're not repairing as many bumpers as we used to, say even like 3 to 4 years ago. And that is a great tool for a good solid repair that lasts. How many people have had a plastic repair? You've done the traditional maybe V-cut way, patch in the back, and maybe it's failed on you, and it's really depressing when it fails, isn't it? It's almost like failure. And this tool, the way it bonds, it's a really good, strong, long-lasting repair.
Very nice. So we just staple on the back with a two-sided repair, go to the front side, prepare that, and then it can finish it off conventionally, correct?
Yep.
Cool.
It is made. One of the things that I go back to at a shop is things are changing the repair process, and we're getting more and more equipment. Cars are getting a little harder to repair, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the estimate. That's really what I do that makes money for me in the shop. That's what I write, that's what I get paid off of. And there are some really great new tools out there that have come to market to help you write better estimates, and not just write them better, but get paid, right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I write if no one's gonna pay. Has anybody seen these from Collision Edge? This is the new Dent viewer board. It's got a reflective side on the back. So you write an estimate, you put 3 or 4 hours on that repair, you upload it, and somebody calls you and says, hey, I don't think you need X amount of hours on that door. Has that happened to anybody? Especially when maybe it's a light colored car, it's hard to get that damage to see. Well, that's what this tool does. So it's got a dark side for your light colors, it's got a light and a reflective surface, it works with the flash of your camera, and I can put that over the dent. Oh, look at that. Now see how that pops up? So just by using the reflective, shining the dent viewer onto the panel of the damage, now that's gonna pop up. I can not only see how deep that is, I can see how long that damage is. And so getting maybe 4 hours for that dent's not a problem. Without the dent viewer, if I put more than an hour on that, you think I'd probably get a phone call? So it's a great way to prove what you need and to get it shown, and the reflective backing makes all the difference in that. They also came out for me a set of measuring sticks. The tool comes in a kit. You get all of the rulers that are magnetic. And I can definitely show in my pictures that I'm uploading how long the dent is. Well, how close am I to a blendable edge? Am I going to have to be able, can I contain it? Do I need to go into the next panel? Adjusters love these. We've got several insurance companies, they're carrying these in their kits now. They're going out and it's helping their adjusters write better estimates. And since I've had shops implement it, and I know Tim's here, he can even tell you more about it, I'm getting less no's. Estimates are higher, repairability is higher, the yeses are higher. And at the end of the day, well, more repair time on an estimate, that's better for me and the technician.
That's a cool tool.
That is a cool tool. He's got one more for me. So I started as a painter. And I can't tell you how many rolls of tape I would go through in a common day. How many own the shop here? Okay. Does it bug you when you walk through the paint shop and you see that? Does it bug you when you see one that's been ran over or is wet?
That
because
never
you know
happens.
exactly what that roll costs you, right? It's a magnetic back on your tape. Fits right on the tape. The core of tape, no matter half-inch, quarter, or whatever, is the same size core. It'll fit on anything you got. Tim, you've even got a fine line option for me now, right? There's also a belt clip for this. I can hold it, I can put it on a belt. But now as I go through the shop, I can tape out, it rolls on itself, doesn't bind up, and when I'm ready to do, like, fine, I'm gonna put my thumbnail down, I'm gonna do whatever, I just stick it on the car, it's magnetic. I don't have any more tape that hits the floor, doesn't get wet in the detailer station, doesn't get ran over. I don't have 12 rolls running around the shop because 4 guys have them in their toolbox anymore. They're right where they need to be each and every time. Cutting material costs in half. I'm not wasting tape anymore, and to me, ultimate cool tool, because I gotta buy more of those, so I gotta save more of this,
There you
right?
go. Hey, you know, another great tool for that damage analysis estimating process that people don't really think about as a damage analysis tool enough, but it certainly is, are tools like this. This is a cool tool. This is a Aztec 2 from Collision Diagnostic Services. It's not exactly a scan tool, but it talks to scan tools. The cool system that CDS has developed, and why it's so great for that blueprinting process is just like measuring. If you don't measure the vehicle, how do you know where the hidden damage is? If you don't scan the vehicle when it comes in, how do you know if you've got any trouble codes that aren't turning on a light? With all these advanced safety systems today, a lot of these systems aren't going to turn on a light. When you replace a lot of these parts, you put the part on there, if there's no light on the dash, people think, oh, it must be okay. That's not the case. A lot of these require recalibration, reinitialization. So the concept that Collision Diagnostic Services has come up with this cool tool, you put this in your shop, you call them, you fill out an order essentially saying, hey, I need to scan a car. You hook up the, right back to the OBD2 connector. It's got an Ethernet cable. It also works via Wi-Fi, although not as well sometimes, so they do recommend going with the Ethernet cable. You get one of their technicians on the line from Jacksonville, Florida, and they run a scan of it. You push some buttons, they'll talk to you, communicate with you. We've had them down in Jacksonville turning on headlights on cars and honking horns and doing all kinds of goofy stuff, locking doors, putting windows up and down. they're doing the same thing. They've got ASE certified technicians that are experts in General Motors, Ford, Porsche, BMW, Audi, the whole model lineup. They've got the factory scan tool in their lap. They plug this into on their end and communicate back and forth with you. Great tool, and then certainly again at the end of the process where you need to recalibrate, reinitialize some of these. Now it won't work if you have to take a test drive. That's gonna be a challenge, I think, if you're trying to roll down the interstate with an Ethernet cable.
Right.
But it's a cool tool and it's a great concept. And scan tools, diagnostics in general, are becoming an essential tool for collision repairs. So not only is it a cool tool, I think it's becoming a required tool.
Well, as we're talking about that and blueprinting and getting things right, this is one of my next favorite cool tools. This is from one of my good old Arkansas companies. We typically see them in mechanics a lot. Mechanical shops are have them. It gives me an HD camera. I can scope that camera anywhere. I've got a 12-foot attachment I can add on there, so I can go 12 foot in if I need to. I started using these in re-inspection, so it's a post-repair inspection tool for me. I started using it in that, and then I started struggling with what's behind panels, certain types of foams, things that I may be getting into with a cutoff wheel. But I started using it to see what's behind the panels I'm working on, especially in some of these cars with multiple layers on rockers. I know I'm gonna need one part, pretty obvious, but a lot of times the inspection camera can tell me how much deeper that damage is gonna go. And I don't have to wait to cut that outer rocker off to look in there and go, oh, hey, I think I need the whole side or whatever.
Another cool
So I
tool.
love using the inspection cameras.
Now, here it looks like you got a bag of cool tools.
I do. Every year I go up to Minnesota and I can't think 3M's going to impress me. I mean, at the end of the day, really, how much cooler can we make an abrasive? What can it do for us? But every year I go up there and they blow my mind. Well, a couple of years ago, they handled me the file belt tool. I call this thing the magic finger because if I can touch it, I can get on it to weld it. So what this thing does for me, I've got an abrasive, a 36 and an 80, goes through spot welds like butter, dresses a weld like butter. I can take off about 100 spot welds on the sides, so let's take about a quarter. If it is a milder steel, I can go through about 100 on one of these belts. So typical 80 grit, I can take a quarter off and I don't have to press. So if you've ever drilled out a spot weld, you ever put your shoulder in it and you're like this all day long, all I gotta do is this one-handed. Go all the way around, it goes through spot welds like butter. They also give me a Scotch-Brite pad. It takes adhesives and seam sealers off. It's great for windshield frames after a windshield urethane removal, seam sealer removal on a quarter or a rear body. The tool's just amazing. I've got it out in the parking lot. If you don't believe how fast I can go through high-strength steel with this and get a quarter off, I would love to show you. We also use it in fabrication, so I've got a couple of cars around here. We unveiled 3 yesterday for BASF, but we use it in all our fab work. So if I'm making a panel, custom, put it on. So Chip's car over there, JF's car, the Ring Brothers car, we've all used these on. This is how we make those panels. This thing will change your life. If you're thinking about a $50 drill bit, high-strength steel rear body panel, maybe 2 bits. 2 belts. So instead of 2 $50 drill bits, 2 belts on this and you're through.
Cool. Cool tool.
Cool tool.
Next cool tool we've got is the skin zipper from Steck Manufacturing. Again, another cool tool from them. One of the issues with aluminum door skins is because of the aluminum, they're prone to cracking in the hem flange area. So you need to make a rolled hem flange or a rope hem flange. It's a 2-step process. To bend the flange over originally, and then put that rolled hem flange in there, and then also put it down to smooth it out as well. So for rolled hem flanges, minimizing cracking aluminum door skins, another cool tool and a quick, efficient way to put door skins on. And we're going to be doing a door skin tomorrow on an F-150 with our friends from 3M, and we may be using this cool tool tomorrow.
Yeah. Now for me, in the tech world, as faster I could do it, the better my check was on Friday. So, all right, so now let's get a little technical because it looks like we're going pretty much into the future here. What you got over there?
Well, I don't think they keep the sun out very well. These are the Spinisi simulator glasses here. So I've got a screen inside of here. I can actually watch what I'm doing on the vehicle. So it's got a mouse right here. So you've got the mouse in your hand. You can go right through the internet. Go through your 3-dimensional measurements, through the Spinisi touch system, look at the measurements. They'll bring it right up just like you're looking at the computer, so you don't have to go over the car, hit the point, come back and check it out. You can look at it right on your glasses, and then again, touch the button and move the mouse around there. It's also internet compatible, so I can go on the internet with this and search for OEM collision repair procedure. I can go to the iCar Repairability Technical Support website, do a search to see if there's a sectioning procedure, or what types of airbag parts are required on the vehicle that I've got in front of me, see if anybody else asks a question. If I look under there and I see something, I'm like, ooh, what is that? Then we can go fill out a request and get some information from RTS. And then also, this is also capable of Skyping with them, so they can actually Skype with you and look at you and do some troubleshooting for you remotely as well. So a pretty cool tool.
It is a pretty cool tool. It's pretty interesting to be at the car taking my measurements, and when I'm trying to decide what I want to do, to be able to hit a pad. It looks like a little iPhone, and suddenly I'm on the OEM website reading the repair procedures. I've jumped over to you, and I've never left the car. I'm still standing right where I was when I put my first point.
Now, here's another cool tool. This is one I know was one of your favorites.
It's been one of my favorites for 6 years. I love this thing.
So what do we have here?
So this is the Goliath estimating carts, and so one of the things that we always struggled with was with estimating, is we lost a lot of time and energy in the steps back and forth between the car and the office for the estimator, and we lost a lot of accuracy in those steps. So how do we keep the estimators with the car through the entire process so that we can increase accuracy, and we'll increase the betterment of the estimate the more I get paid? And Goliath has come up with a system. It is a complete powered cart. It's not dependent on a plug. You don't have to wait to have a cord attached to run it around the shop. Big wheels, rolls everywhere. I've got my laptop. I've got an extra screen. I can have multiple things. Down here I may have my estimating system, whatever I choose to use. And up here I may have my OEM repair procedures or my all data or anything else that I want to refer to. I can put a printer in here. Is it locked? Oh, Tito locked me out, right? I got a printer in here. It runs on its own battery system. So anywhere I want to go, and when it's right time to print the estimate, I can do this. So the great thing for me is whether it's in the shop in the blueprinting bay, or if I've got a total loss out back and I want to go write that, well, I just take the whole system with me. I don't have to wait and go back and forth, and I don't have to just be limited to my tablet screen, which sometimes limits the access to the data that you have depending on your manufacturer, your estimating software.
So you've got access to complete safe and quality repair information. You're saving time on the front end. You can get more sheets written.
Yeah, I tell you, I immediately went to Best Buy, bought a Wi-Fi booster, put it on the outside of the building, and occasionally my people find me wandering around the parking lot. How far can I go to write an estimate?
Very nice, very nice. All right, next cool tool that we've got here is from H&S Auto Shot. This is a dent repair station. Now, I've likely seen well-done dent repair stations, at many different facilities, and they've been around for a while. And you've seen some steel ones, and you've seen some aluminum ones, and you've seen some glue and adhesive dent removal tools as well. This station's got everything. It can do both steel and aluminum, so you don't need to have a steel machine and an aluminum machine. You've got both of them right here. Everything you need for both steel and aluminum cosmetic repairs is contained right in here, and then certainly the access to the adhesive dent removal tools as well. And the one thing I really like about this one too that's kind of neat is as you're pulling that dent out, you can lock that in place and do your metal working rather than trying to use a leverage bar and try to you need like 3 or 4 hands from time to time to do some of that. So this one gives you an extra set of hands as well. So that's kind of a pretty neat feature that they've got available for this unit as well.
And that's a great thing for shops. I think a lot of people, as we start about how do we tool up for what's coming down the pipe for the manufacturers, we're a little worried about having to buy multiple things to reach, do I need a steel station and an aluminum station? So having it all combined in one can really help a shop lower its cost.
And so, speaking of combining things all in one, that's a heck of a segue we did there.
I know. So this is one of my favorite tools of all time. And in fact, when ProSpot first showed me this, welding, I've always struggled with it. So when they gave me this tool and I was able to have all of my different materials that I needed from aluminum to steel to MIG in one thing, not changing wires, not struggling with the rollers, not having to make sure about gauges, knowing it's set up and ready to go, changed my life forever. And it's ready to go. I pull down the handle if I want to do aluminum and I'm ready to go. With a pull of the trigger and it's there. I can put it back up. If I need to switch over to silicon bronze, I pull the trigger and it's there. I'm not bending down, I'm not changing the rollers. And when we look at some of the manufacturers with maybe multiple attachments on one panel, say a quarter panel for instance, when the tech doesn't have to waste time changing, well, productivity goes way up.
That's right. And speaking of MIG brazing, that's another becoming an essential tool in the not too distant future because if you work on anybody here work on a Honda vehicle ever? Yeah, quite a few I'd imagine. Honda with their 1500 MPa material requires MIG brazing where you can't get a spot welder to. The 2013 Accord itself alone has, I believe, 11 spots on just the B-pillar that require MIG brazing to put that vehicle back to proper. That 25% offset crash test with all these is really driving a lot of these advanced high strength steels, a lot more strength in the vehicle. We can't compromise the integrity by putting conventional steel, GMA MIG welding into those 1500 MPa materials, we need to use MIG brazing. It's about complete, safe, and quality repairs for the ultimate benefit of the consumer, like the iCar vision. And it's important that we put these vehicles on the road back properly.
All right, Jason, so the last thing is my last favorite cool tool, the iCar Repairability portal. So let's talk about it a little bit if they haven't been to the portal and what you guys have offered. That is a really cool tool for every shop to use.
Yeah, the iCar Repairability Technical Support portal is a conduit for us to share information with the entire collision repair industry. Vehicle manufacturers like Honda again, Ford, they're using iCar to get information out to you. Honda, the vehicle makers are asking us, can you deliver this information to the industry? So if you go to iCar.com/RTS, it brings it to the RTS portal. You can also get there right from iCar.com. We'd love to show you in the iCar booth, certainly give you a tour of it. We've got a wealth of OEM information on there. We've got a new video concept called iCar 360 where we're walking people around new vehicles and from an awareness standpoint, because if you don't know what you don't know, you're not going to be able to repair the vehicle properly.
Yeah.
So a ton of information on there, restraint system matrices, or searches available. We get a lot of calls on sectioning as well, so there's a lot of sectioning information on there. And a feature called Ask iCar, where if you have a technical question, you can reach out to two of our collision repair experts and ask your question, and they will get back to you with an answer. If we can't find that answer from the vehicle manufacturer, we then escalate it to the vehicle manufacturer via our OEM linking pin mechanism. And not only do we give that answer back to that individual that calls and asks that question, we post it on the website to share that information with everybody. It's been a great resource. We've had 200,000 views from all around the world. We've had 30,000 pages of downloads of Ford procedures, Honda body repair news articles. So it's a great resource. It's available to the entire industry. It's a heck of a resource. It's been a lot of fun putting together too. Thank you for sticking around for cool tools.
Cool.